Hello Techno Buffalo viewers, Mike Perlman here with a review of the, hey, what's that over there on the forest ground? Canon PowerShot Elph 310 HS. Does this little elf have what it takes to battle the rest of the point and shoot forest? Find out in my full review. If you're looking for one of the best compact point and shoot cameras on the market, I've got it in my hand right here. It's the Canon PowerShot Elph 310 HS, and this is the follow-up to last year's PowerShot Elph 300 HS. And I have to say, not much has changed from last year. The internals of this camera, completely unchanged. It's got the same Canon HS system, 12 megapixel, 1/2.3 inch CMOS chip. Only this year, Canon has boosted the zoom to an 8x optical from last year's 5x optical zoom. Also, we have a larger 3-inch LCD from last year's 2.7 inch, and it has a 461,000 dot resolution compared to last year's 230K display. Aesthetically, the Elph 310 HS has changed a bit. The menu and the mode switch have been migrated to the side of the camera's body. It's still exceedingly compact. Let's check it out next to an iPhone. Now, since the Elph 310 HS features the same imager as last year, I was greeted to the same image quality. Image quality on this camera, for a point and shoot, fantastic. Colors were vivid, detail was there. Very few image aberrations that are so characteristic of a point and shoot camera. Just Canon has some of the best imaging in the point and shoot market. Now, as far as video, this camera takes 1080p HD videos at 24 frames per second. If you want 30 frames per second, you have to go to 720p. But video quality, very impressive as well. Audio quality, stereo audio quality, not bad. But I will say low light with this camera in video mode, not as sensitive, and that's something that I've seen throughout the years with point and shoot models. But as far as overall image quality on the Elph 310 HS, very, very good for its class, one of the best. Within the past few years, Canon has also simplified its point and shoot lineup. You won't find any manual or aperture or shutter priority modes on this camera, just program auto. And for a long shutter, this camera relies on long shutter mode, which allows it to go to 15 seconds. The ISO range on this camera is 100 to 3200, same as last year. But there's also a low light mode that lets you go down to 6400 at a reduced resolution. One thing I was a bit weary about was that Canon changed the aperture ratio on this camera. It now has a 3.0 maximum compared to last year's 2.7 maximum. And that, I think, affected low light a little bit. Also, Canon went from a 24mm wide-angle lens last year to a 28mm wide-angle lens this year, and that narrower range means you could fit less into your shots. We still got the same image effects like toy camera, super vivid, miniature, and super slow motion movie. One thing to note is that there's no manual focus on this camera, but the autofocus is fantastic. Especially in Smart Auto Mode. Smart Auto Mode has been revamped. It recognizes up to 32 predefined scenes, and it's one of the best auto modes on the market. This camera is super quick as well. From powering on to taking a shot, I clocked it in at 1.3 seconds. The firmware is exceedingly quick as well. You can rifle through options, menu selections. Playback is fantastic. It has auto rotate. So the Canon PowerShot Elph 310 HS is definitely one of the best options on the market. However, if you compare it to last year's Elph 300 HS, it's really not worth the upgrade. If you need to have the latest and greatest Canon, I say go for it. You can't go wrong with the Canon in the point and shoot realm. However, if you want to save, say 80 bucks, go for a $180 Elph 300 HS that's still floating around on the internet. Go for it. I'm Mike Perlman, the Techno Buffalo camera specialist, so be sure to tune in for more camera reviews at technobuffalo.com and on the Techno Buffalo YouTube channel. See you guys later. Keep snapping.